Hello, I'm Joseph Dillard. Welcome to our online integral deep listening video curricula. Cognitive distortions are so important as a barrier to happiness, peace of mind, and global health that it is worth taking the time to focus on concrete steps that you can take to get them out of your life once and for all. First, assume everything you think is one or another of the above cognitive distortions until proven otherwise. As we say on the front door of our office, don't believe everything you think. This step is necessary because if you aren't on the lookout for your cognitive distortions, you won't see them. Beware of the fear that you will then fall into some sort of fatalism in which everything is a cognitive distortion and that there is no escape from them, something that some people do with the concept of the drama triangle as well. This is where ideal interviewing comes in because it keeps you in touch with perspectives that are in relationship to you, regardless of how clear you may think you are relatively free of cognitive distortions. This is a reminder that, yes, there is reality without cognitive distortions, and that you aren't Sisyphus, eternally struggling uphill against the weight of your delusions. Second, it's not enough to be vigilant in looking for your cognitive distortions. You have to specifically identify them. Are you generalizing? Or are you doing global labeling? Or both? If you have to consult a list and go down it mentally to pick up the most likely one, do so. Why this matters is that unless you get specific, you won't create a specific substitution for your cognitive distortions that you're thinking. Without a specific substitution, you will probably keep thinking thoughts based on this or that cognitive distortion, and that'll keep you scared, anxious, worried, or depressed. Third, you need some objective measure to determine the validity of your subjective feelings and beliefs. How are you going to tell whether your fear or anger or sadness is appropriate and helpful, or whether it is some sort of false alarm and chronic emotional addiction? This is where triangulation comes in. You need to have external sources of objectivity that you can trust to tell you if your judgment is adaptational or not. For example, is your anxiety realistic? Ask others you trust. Then, consult your own best judgment and intuition. You need to balance those sources by consulting internal or subjective sources of objectivity as well, which is what you do with ideal interviewing. Together, these three forms of objectivity balance each other and reduce the likelihood that you are deluding yourself. Next, eliminate any double standard of thinking well of others and thinking badly of yourself. Stop talking down to yourself in your own head. Talk to yourself only as you would talk to someone you want to support and nurture, such as a child, patient, or client. Why? Because you do what to support and nurture yourself, right? Then talk to yourself like you mean it. Next, measure how well you are doing or on stopping this or that cognitive distortion with a 0 to 10 scale rather than a yes or no, black or white one. This works better because it is more specific and provides a result that is relative rather than absolute, which more closely corresponds to the inherent ambiguity of our lives. Do you have specific behaviors to validate or justify this or that cognitive distortion? If you don't identify them, they will act as objective proof that will keep you using this or that cognitive distortion because you create an objective reality that validates it. For example, If you stay in abusive relationships, you have external validation that you are right in experiencing yourself as victimized, and then for using those cognitive distortions that validate your status as victim. So, recognize that the elimination of some cognitive distortions isn't just a matter of changing what you think. You have to change what you do and who you are around your cognitive, objective, environmental living conditions in order to eliminate some of them, the ones that aren't working. Whose problem is it? It's a cognitive distortion to think someone else's bad behavior or cognitive distortion is your problem. It's grandiose to blame yourself for someone else's issue, and it puts you in the role of rescuer because you are depriving the other of the opportunity and responsibility for owning their own cognitive distortions and bad behavior. Know when to take a break, to back off, to not think about cognitive distortions. Once you've learned how to be vigilant, trust that the world and your dreams will give you feedback that when you are in this or that cognitive distortion, you'll know it. You don't have to wreck your peace of mind with self-questioning and always be looking for cognitive distortions. However, most people never learn how to do so and stop before they learn the skill as a built-in aptitude. Don't be one of those people. Do a cost-benefit analysis of your self-talk. Is it working for you? Does it make you more confident and trusting, or more fearful and hopeless? And remember, substitute rational statements. Look at your thinking. Is it full of authentic emotion without being emotionally driven? Is it in alignment with external and interior sources of objectivity or not? Look for substitute statements that amplify not only rational truth, but goodness, harmony, and inner peace. Ask yourself, not only is it true, but also, is it helpful? Good luck. As you work on yourself, you'll help others to wake up as well. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.